Hi guys, it's Ben here from Scarrett Equine. I just wanted to take some time here to put together a video series on relationships and specifically developing your relationship skill set. I think relationships are something that we all have to have. It's a really big part of life. Unless you want to be a hermit, and go and live on a hill in a small shack somewhere and not interact with people. There's plenty of people who do that, but if you're like me or most other people, you will have relationships in your life, and whether it be work relationships or relationships with your family members or friends or social relationships, relationships are a really important part of life. And the thing that I often see is that a lot of our relationships don't work because of a lack of skills on how to develop relationships. And these skills, these relationship skills, aren't necessarily skills that we inherit, by default. Like, just wake up and go, I know how to communicate to people. We oftentimes don't necessarily get them off our parents either. We may get bits and pieces, but if we truly want to develop our ability to relate to other people, we have to go out and we have to search and find people that are maybe better at it than we are, or that do it in a way that really resonates with how we want to be able to communicate. We also have to go out and we have to learn the skills of how to relate to other people. So one of the first things I want to talk about, and the specific focus of this video, is going to be developing your ability to communicate through values, through human values. And I think a lot of times in relationships, the reason why there's a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, a lot of really like shaming, judgmental interactions going on in relationship dynamics between people, is because there's a lack of understanding of differences in human values. Now, our values are something that we all have as human beings. Every human being has a unique hierarchy of values, human values. And these values will come to the forefront in whatever interaction we have in our relationships. So we make our decisions based on our values. We make our judgments based on our values. We like something because of our values, and we dislike something because of our value system. All these things happen, and a lot of our behavior and our emotional reactions are driven by our beliefs, which are our value systems. And so understanding our value system, as well as understanding the values of those that we're communicating in our life, is really super important if you want that interaction to be functional, for it to go well, to have good relationships. Now, I'm not saying there's still going to be challenges, but when there are challenges, the better your relationship skills are, the more you're able to navigate those challenging situations with more calm and certainty, and more, more understanding of where you want to take it. So essentially, to communicate in terms of values is quite simple. I'm going to just go ahead and use a simple analogy here. So if you can imagine, if there's one person over here, and we're going to say this person's values are safety, security, and following the rules. Okay, and we have another person over here, and their values are adventure, fun, and not really caring too much about planning. Now, potentially, what you have here is two different value systems that are probably gonna clash pretty bad. Okay, because this person, safety, security, following the rules. This person, kind of the opposite to that. And this is often what you encounter in life, in people with the opposite values to you. And these can be sometimes the hardest people to communicate with, because you don't share so many values. But if we think about communication in this situation, how would we communicate from this person to this person? Now, let's say, for example, I was the person that wanted to have adventure, and I wanted to go out in the jungle, and I wanted to go out on this mad big adventure and do something really crazy. Then if I wanted this person to come along with me, I'd have to think of some really key points in their values that make them feel like they're going to be able to do that. And they've got to feel safe, they've got to feel secure, and they've got to feel like we have a plan. So then I'm going to go, okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to go out and have this lovely jungle adventure. And I know you have some security concerns. I know you're feeling a little unsafe about it. I know you're feeling unsure. So what I've done is I've gone and bought this GPS tracker. So what this GPS tracker does is any time that we're feeling like someone's got hurt, or we got lost, or we don't know where we are, we can press a button and someone will come and rescue us. They'll have a helicopter come out and they'll search for us. So we're going to be safe and secure. What I've also done is I've packed the first aid kit, and this is a plan that I've got when we go out there. If this happens, we'll turn around. I've marked the route. I've talked to all the locals in the area so that they're going to expect us in certain points of the trail so that we're not just going blind. And I've got my little map, multiple maps with me, so if you lose one, and you identify all these things that are going to fulfill their need of feeling safe, secure, and to feel like that you have a plan. Now, in that situation, you've effectively communicated to that person your values in terms of their values, and so they're going to feel a whole lot better about saying yes, because you've given them, you fulfilled their values. And this is something that I think so often doesn't happen in relationships, is we don't communicate our values in terms of other people's values, and that's why we get a lot of the emotional resistance, and even just the lack of communication, or the failure to communicate effectively and to sell the other person on what we're wanting to do. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's something simple like going shopping, or whether you're trying to communicate them to talk to them about negotiating about where you spend money in the household. It's all communication, and it doesn't matter whether it's at work or whether it's with your family. Understanding that person's values and that hierarchy of values, understanding your values and finding a way to meet them and to meld those values is going to be of vital importance. So that's my tip for you today, is to develop your ability to communicate in terms of other people's values. That means, 1, to know your values, and 2, to know the values of the people that you're communicating with. And I guarantee you, if you spend some time to research that and to really discover what their values are and to know what yours are, your communication will improve out of sight. So I want you to go off and have fun with that little activity, and share some feedback below of situations where you have communicated effectively and how it's really changed your relationship, or gotten you through situations that were really adverse, or even overcoming conflicts. A lot of times just communicating in terms of values is one of the great ways to overcome conflicts, and to understand what that person wants and why that's not being met, and to meet that in your own way allows them to feel better and more positive about it, maybe to overcome some of the emotions that come up about that. So again, I want you to share some situations where you've used that in your life, because you probably already used it even without knowing it. And again, if you like this video, I want you to like it down below. I want you to share it, and all those types of things. So thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.